Hey, what's up guys? Let's do this. Day 3 of E3. Got a lot to do. We're gonna go ahead and check out some of the PlayStation Live Theater experience, which basically breaks down 3 different shows or 3 different games, which is live, The Last Guardian, Uncharted 4, and of course, Horizon. And then after that, I'm gonna hit up some Nintendo stuff, and then I'm just gonna wander around because I got a free day today. Let's see what I can get into today. Thank you guys for being awesome and tuning in during my E3 coverage of 2015. Alright guys, so I basically just got out of the PlayStation Theater experience, which is three shows in one. You got a little sneak peek, a little bit extended demo presentation beyond what was showed at the Sony conference area. First one we saw was Horizon Zero Dawn, which is a game from Guerrilla Games, and it's unbelievable. I didn't really get into it at the conference, but it's essentially a world where humanity went beyond society. Like all the civilization that we know it went beyond that, and all of a sudden all the worlds, like nature came back again. So it's like post-apocalyptic. So it's pretty cool the way they do that. Another thing that what I like about it is that the environment, it looks beautiful. The weapons look great. In terms of the idea of hunting animals that are robots, that machines and robots took over the world, and now you're the one that's hunting them, and you're primitive, which is crazy, and you're part of the race of people that is hunting these machines for gathering and all those kinds of things. So that's kind of cool. The second one we saw is a little bit more Last Guardian. What I really like about Last Guardian is the symbiotic relationship you have between your animal, or they call the condor. And the condor as well has a lot of elements of like different animals. And so they gave like a little brief presentation beforehand about explaining that, about the animals and how it has like things like a dog and a cat. And so what I'm looking for that, it's like if you never played The Last Guardian on the previous gens, like way back when, essentially is you form a symbiotic relationship with this animal, like a really close, tight-knit personal relationship, solving all these puzzles and going through all this ruin. So that's kind of cool, and it looks great. Now, of course, the biggest one that was seen, of course, is right behind me. Is Drake. Now, the cool thing about Drake is that we saw the demo. You know, if you saw E3, the press conference, went all the way up to him sliding onto the crane. So pretty much the rest of the half, it was not a hands-on demo, I know, but pretty much the rest of the half of that demo is Drake swings on the thing, he goes underwater for like a little bit, halfway water during it, and then he's sliding in the mud, and it's like he's being dragged by that crane through all these rice paddies and whatnot, and then you have the ability, you're like shooting all these guys, and it's essentially another convoy. So you're chasing this convoy of all these people. So you're chasing the convoy, and you're shooting all these guys by being dragged in the mud. And what's cool is the environment. Drake's clothes get wet and muddy, and he looks disgusting. And so what ends up happening is you meticulously go through this convoy, you get to the crane, all the melee combat of throwing people off the stuff, it looks great. You get on top of a Jeep, and you're driving a Jeep again. People are jumping on top of your Jeep. You're shoving people off your Jeep. You're driving at a high speed. You're killing people on motorcycles. You're jumping on other Jeeps, taking care of them. And it's just like madness and chaos while you're just running down this lane. And then Drake's brother shows up. So Drake's brother shows up, and you see that relationship already building, how I could see that Drake is like looking up to his brother, and his brother is just as smart as Drake in terms of all the treasure hunting and all those kinds of things. So that is awesome. So that's happening, and then the Jeep all of a sudden, like it's funny, there's this moment where Drake and his brother are like trying to convince each other, like, hey, jump on my motorcycle, and then Nathan's like, no, you jump on my Jeep, that kind of stuff at the same time. And then what ends up happening is Drake Jeep gets hit. So Drake's Jeep gets hit, and he flips over, and it cuts to like a mini moment, kind of like if you remember on Uncharted 2 with the train. So he's like struggling to get out. The flames are building. You're hitting triangle through these quick time events to literally crawl out. Boom, as soon as you crawl out, you are shooting people. It's just crazy. You're shooting people. and you're like lying down. So there's like a lot of different angles. Like if you remembered in Last of Us, where Joel is shooting upside down against the clicker. So there's a lot of moments like that in Uncharted 4 in this demo. So after all that happening, it keeps going. Like this demo just keeps going. So it kept going. You get on top, you're about to get up, you're struggling to get out of the Jeep, and then all of a sudden the turret car shows up again. So the current car shows up again, and it's chasing you again. You get on the motorcycle with Nate's brother, I don't know his name. So you get on the motorcycle with Nate's brother, and then you just start flooring it, and you're flooring it through these shipping docks, and this turret thing is chasing you, and now you're on Drake's brother motorcycle, and he gives you like a burst pistol, or like a automatic weapon, essentially. It's like a submachine gun, SMG, and you're shooting at this turret as he's zipping through, and the camera angle is very dynamic, and you're just flying through and you're just shooting at it. The truck is just like bell hent to kill you. It's losing all this stuff around, and then you keep going, and then eventually you slide underneath the semi truck. And when you slide underneath it, it finally topples over and crashes. And then there's this moment where they're just like breathing, like a sigh of relief about everything. And again, I'm sorry if my camera work was kind of, I'm literally holding up this camera, but I'm happy. And then it shows a cutscene with Sully and Nathan Drake and his brother, and then Elena shows up at the end of the cutscene. So again, like the cool thing I liked about the demo is that it just shows you the relationship that Drake and Sully and Nathan Drake's brother have, and I'm really loving that Drake's brother, his older brother, is just as adventurous as he is. And because he's just as adventurous as he is, you're gonna see a lot of like the influences, and you can tell he looks up to him. So blown away, great experience for the PlayStation Theater, all 3 in 1. Overall awesome. We're gonna go ahead and move on to the next stuff. Yoshi's Woolly World in a short blurb. Cute, fun, chaotic, looks adorable. Nintendo knows how to do it right. I loved it. You throw your little yarn balls and you make the platforms, and when you play with the co-op, it just gets crazy, stupid fun. Awesome game. Awesome. Mario Tennis Ultra Smash was crazy fun, old school. It reminds me of those old, I remember playing the Super Nintendo game, I don't remember, but it was like a tennis game. It was like Super Tennis. It was literally, that's what it was called, Super Tennis. And it was cool, and there's power-ups, and every time I'm playing a Nintendo game, I just have this big smile on my face. So I'm gonna go ahead and try to get in line for Star Fox next. But Mario Ultra Smash is great, and actually, if you win, you win your game, you get a pin, and you best believe I got a pin. I just played Star Fox, and Star Fox Zero is kind of an amazing game. It's like a throwback to Star Fox 64, it feels that way, but you have the pad itself, which is like a cockpit view, and it's kind of weird at first to play that way, but basically with the new gamepad, the controller, the big U-pad, you have this control because your thumbs are always on the sticks, and you could do the somersaults and things like that easily, and like the triggers, it just makes sense to shoot for the blaster, and then the maps, I just like the control of it, and it just feels like classic Star Fox. All range mode is pretty awesome to do, but then what's cool about the cockpit view is that you can see targets above you, below you, things like that you couldn't see on the TV screen, so it's a greater control. And at first, like I said, it takes a while to get used to, but Peppy, Falco, Slippy the Toad, all those are back, and there's an actually new, like a chicken walker type of thing called what was it called? Terrain mode. So instead of a tank, you get this cool chicken walker, and of course, all range mode looks pretty cool as well. I already said that. The Star Fox, again, unbelievable. We're gonna go ahead and move on to Super Mario Maker. Just played Super Mario Maker, and that game just takes me back. I'm a Nintendo kid at heart. I love Nintendo. I grew up on Nintendo, and then I not matured over, but I moved on to the PlayStation. But Nintendo playing here at E3 has gotten me so excited about a lot of these Wii U titles. Super Mario Maker is awesome, man. It's just like Mario Paint. And you guys remember Mario Paint, where you could kind of make music, but this is like a level designer, and you could pick themes. And Super Mario 3, Super Mario World, the original Mario Brothers, and then of course the 3D, the Super Mario 3DS version. So it's just like you could invent and you could create, and it's with Mario, and it's so freeing to see Nintendo give the user a lot of creativity. And it's gonna have a place where you could kind of upload your levels, where you could rate them kind of like Little Big Planet and stuff like that. But I had a great time. What I did in my level was I added a lot of springs on the bottom of the level, added a lot of those turtles guys, and then I pretty much let them all go, and they're just bouncing all over the place. It was just very chaotic, and I can't wait. I'm really leaning towards getting a Wii U. I was in the debate between Xbox and Wii U, but it's awesome, and this is what I'm enjoying about E3, and I hope you guys are enjoying this trip through Nintendo.
Hello darkness, my old friend, I've come to talk with you again, because a vision softly creeping.
Alright guys, that wraps up this day of E3, number 3 in the books. It is done. Finite, whatever you want to say. Ciao bella to E3 day 3. I had a great time today. That PlayStation experience where we got a look at all 3 of The Last Guardian and Horizon, and of course Uncharted 4. The extended demo was phenomenal. It was unbelievable, and pretty much the whole day I spent just hanging around Nintendo. The Nintendo booth was great. I fell in love with Nintendo again, and I'm seriously considering getting a Wii U. I know that's crazy it seems, and you know what, tomorrow I'm gonna do a lot of the PlayStation independent games. We're gonna do a lot of Blitzkrieg action. I got a little taste of Rocket League again with all the custom features, and I Am Bread. That's right, I Am Bread. That game was crazy fun. You're gonna hear more like my little, I guess, the little snippets of all the indie games I play. I'm just gonna literally hunker down in the West Hall, the PlayStation area, play as many as possible, and then who knows, I might go over to the dark side and play some Xbox. I can't help it. I see Gears of War remastered. I want to play it, and of course the Division is there, and I still haven't played Black Ops. I haven't played Black Ops. All right, guys, that wraps up this day. Thank you guys so much for all your support. Continue to like, share, subscribe, and as always, ooh yeah, peace, adios. It's a beautiful day. Not bad, California. Not bad.